The first thing Daniel noticed when he entered the forest was the absence of noise asterisk. No engines, no voices, no buzzing phone in his pocket. He had turned it off at the trailhead, more out of frustration than intention. The silence felt heavy, almost uncomfortable, like a question he was not ready to answer. Daniel had not come to the forest looking for God. He had come because everything else had failed him. The city had promised meaning, work, money, recognition, but delivered only exhaustion. Churches spoke loudly of faith, yet his prayers returned unanswered, echoing hollowly against the ceiling of his small apartment. Friends told him to stay strong, but none could explain why strength felt so empty. So he walked, away from concrete, away from noise, away from answers that sounded rehearsed. The forest received him without ceremony. Tall trees stood like ancient witnesses, their trunks scarred and patient. Sunlight filtered through leaves, breaking into soft fragments that danced on the ground. Daniel moved slowly, unsure where the path led, unsure why his chest felt tight. At first, his thoughts were loud. Regrets replayed themselves. Failures shouted. Old fears demanded attention. The silence did not calm him. It confronted him. He walked for hours until his legs ached and his mind grew tired of arguing with itself. Eventually, he sat at the base of a massive tree, its roots rising from the earth like veins. And then, something changed. The forest did not speak in words, yet it communicated. A breeze moved through the leaves, not rushed, not forced. Birds called to one another without urgency. An ant carried something many times its size, stopping only when necessary. Everything moved with purpose, but nothing hurried. Daniel realized something that startled him. Nothing here was anxious. The trees were not worried about tomorrow. The river nearby did not struggle to flow. It simply obeyed gravity. The forest trusted something deeper than control. He closed his eyes. For the first time in years, he stopped asking questions. The silence pressed in, not empty, but full. Full of rhythm, full of presence, full of a quiet order that did not need explanation. And in that stillness, Daniel felt it. Not a voice, not a vision, not thunder or fire, but nearness. A sense of being known without being judged, of being small, yet deeply valued, of being held inside something vast and intentional. Tears came without warning. They were not tears of sorrow, but release. He understood then. God had never been absent. God had been drowned out, drowned by noise, by ambition, by fear, by the endless demand to perform, to prove, to be more. Here, in the forest silence, God did not compete for attention. God waited. Daniel stayed until sunset. When he stood to leave, nothing outward had changed. His problems still existed. His future remained uncertain, but something inside him had settled. He had found a new way to listen. As he walked back toward the trail, the forest seemed to breathe with him. The silence no longer felt heavy. It felt like home. And Daniel understood a truth he would carry forever. God is not always found in answers, but often in silence, where the soul finally learns how to hear.